amazing teachers! Welcome to English Sparks, the podcast where we share fun and creative ways to teach English. I am Aranza, and today we have a special episode all about weather reports. In this episode, Wake Up, Speak Up, we will guide you through a lesson plan where students learn weather vocabulary, listen to real weather reports, and create their own weather news. We'll show you how to engage students using brainstorming, vocabulary images, memory games, listening activities, miming, and role play. And also explain why each activity helps students learn vocabulary, grammar, and speaking skills. Joining me today are Has and Baruch, who will guide you through each stage of the lesson.
Start by asking students, what do you think the weather is like today? Encourage them to share ideas in English, even if it's just one word or a issue. But then I show them around 8 weather flashcards, like sunny, cloudy, rainy, stormy, snowy, hot, something like that. I ask students to brainstorm and write on the board any words they associate with weather, such as, umbrella, coat, sun, wine, or stuff. Now you might be wondering why this works. Well, the warm-up activates the prior knowledge. It engages students and prepare them for the next stage. I always pay attention to the participation and relevance of ideas that students share with the rest of the classroom. Also, if the students contribute to the brainstorming, if they share ideas they wrote in the board, and if they really want to learn about the weather or what do they know about the weather, I always think about something. I always encourage all students to participate, even gestures or short answers always help build a little of confidence, a little more confidence than they already feel.
Now, I'm going to talk about the pre-listening stage. The first activity is called Teach Weather Vocabulary Using Images. Show each weather word with the correct picture, for example, sunny, cloudy, rainy, windy, stormy, snowy, foggy, and hot. Say each word aloud and have the students repeat it. Use gestures or mime for each type of weather. For example, arms moving like a wind. Why these words? Pictures, repetition, and gestures help the students connect words with meaning. And also, this activates prior knowledge and prepares the students to understand the weather audio. The second activity is called Memory Game. And here we need to use the same 8 words and pictures from the activity number 1. Students work in pairs or small groups to match the word with the correct picture. So when they find a match, they say the word aloud and spell it. Why this works? The memory game reinforces vocabulary through repetition and active recall. Saying words aloud also practices pronunciation and speaking, so students are ready to use and recognize the words during listening activities. For the assessment tools, first we need to use a checklist, so we can check accuracy of matches, participation, and pronunciation. For the peer observation, did students help each other? And finally, self-assessment, students note which words they remember and which need more practice. Tips to improve: repeat the words several times and model pronunciation clearly. Encourage gestures from each weather type to make learning interactive.
First, we practice weather vocabulary together as a class using straightforward repetition and encouraging to get the sounds right. Then, we move into a game of pass the ball. With a miming twice, the student passes a ball around, and when the music stops, the student left holding it comes to the front. They mime a type of weather, and the rest of the class has to guess the word. To reinforce this, the student then spells the word aloud. It is a brilliant way to practice both spelling and letter recognition. Next, we play a short weather report audio. The student listen carefully to identify the specific weather of words they hear. and once the clip finishes, they share those words as a group. When they play the audio a second time, but this time provide the students with a gap-filled worksheet. You'll one sentence like, today it is line and line. To wrap up the activity, check the answer together and offer some constructive feedback. The combination of listening, movement, and games keeps students fully engaged. It significantly improves their comprehension, pronunciation, and overall vocabulary retention. And the other part, assessment tools. We have an oral rubric looking at participation, pronunciation, and accuracy, a worksheet check for correct answers and spelling, peer feedback, observing how well the students support one another.
At this point, the students now create a simple weather report in pairs or small groups. Each group writes a short script using the weather vocabulary learned in the class. This is only a suggestion, okay? The students can pretend to be TV or radio weather reporters, and then the groups present their weather reports in front of class. They can use gestures, props, miming, visual resources, or something like that. I mean, any resource they could use to present their activity. This roleplay allows the students to use vocabulary in a real and meaningful context. It helps to build confidence, fluency, and teamwork. Usually, to evaluate this activity, I use a rubric to grade fluency, vocabulary, creativity, maybe pronunciation, but it's not recommended to do with basic students. Also, a checklist to grade participation, clarity, and completeness. After that evaluation, the students or the classmates give a little feedback to improve their activity, of if they understand the activity, what they said. May I give you a tip to improve? Allow simple props or costumes. Always make sure all the students participate.
So, to wrap things up, let's look at how this lesson supports our students through a clear, step-by-step structure. The warm-up, we begin quite simple by having the students discuss the weather. It is natural way to get them thinking in English right from the start. The pre-stage, here we introduce the new vocabulary using the pictures, and a memory game helps to anchor these new words on their minds before we move on. The while stage, this is the core of the lesson where the students are most active listening to the audio, playing the games we mentioned, and getting involved with the miming. Finally, the post stage. The students put everything they've learned into practice. They create a simple weather report and present it to the class. It's a complete cycle. Students listen, students speak, and most importantly, students learn. This lesson is designed to be engaging, straightforward, and truly interactive. Thank you for joining us on English Spark Weather Report Fun.